rhythm. Rhythm is fundamental to what it is that we're doing. Theatre involves me really being present, not pretending. So making theatre, because it's not a long piece, it's half an hour, 40 minutes maybe, it really forces you to answer the question, what is this thing that we do? And what are the basic things that we need in order to do it?
The first week is a really pivotal week in the training. We're trying to hit a three-prong approach. The first is connecting the trainees back with their own ideas of their childhood and getting them to reconnect with that feeling and that energy, whether that's good or bad. So there's a lot coming up in that week. Then we spoke with a psychologist, Astrid Berg, where she was telling us about the developmental stages of children so that we can understand how children think and operate usually in their developmental and cognitive stages of growth. She particularly focused on the first 1,000 years, which is really interesting how the brain develops. And then from there we move on to how do we connect with the audience? How are we just present on stage without the need to perform? So we used very gentle tools within clowning methodologies to just encourage the trainees to be present and listening to the audience.
So the process after the first week was this wonderful encounter with the materials and playing with the material. So there's a first moment of just discovering the material, discovering what the material can do, discovering what the material evokes in you when you play with it. And then after the first week of meeting all the material, we chose 4 materials that we wanted to work with. And we wanted to work with balls, plant matter, sand, and brooms, and paper. And from then on comes the more difficult process of how do you go from just experiencing the material to creating theatre? How do you find the story? How do you find the themes? In a very playful way, all the work is non-verbal. There might be little bits of words and little bits of songs. Then the costume comes in, and then the set comes in, and that also adds another level of meaning and development to the work, because the set and costume become this beautiful frame to hold the thematic structure of the piece. And it all kind of happens at the same time, happens very quickly. And then there's the really difficult part of structuring. How do you structure it so that it tells that story that you wanted to tell? How do you work with song and changes of rhythm? And then you bring in all the directorial tools that you have to make that 35-minute piece interesting and work towards a climax and have a sense of satisfaction for an audience.
Ah,